biggest Packers draft bust number one. Now, for most people, the number one draft bust of all time in Green Bay Packers history comes down to one person. 1989 draft, Packers had the second overall pick. There's the likes of Barry Sanders, Deion Sanders, Troy Aikman. Well, he'd be taken by number one overall, but Derek Thomas as well. Just imagine Derek Thomas with Reggie White. What a combination that would have been. But we all know who that man is. It's Tony Mandarich. Now, Tony Mandarich had all the measurables. He looked great. He was an All-American at Michigan State, and he looked like he was going to be the next big, great offensive lineman. The Packers have drafted a ton of really great linemen all over their time. So like the likes of Jerry Kramer, who's just one of the better Packers offensive linemen and one of the more underrated NFL offensive linemen of all time. But Tony Mandarich started off his career really poorly. He held out for the first several months and didn't really come to an agreement until close to the first week of the season. And by that time, he was out of shape. His play was called slovenly, and he literally only played 6 series that whole first year. Now, by the second and third year, he played basically every game. But his level of play had declined a lot. I mean, in that time, he had given up around 21 sacks and 35 quarterback knockdowns, which is yikes, really bad. And there was a particular game against the Philadelphia Eagles going up against a man I talked about earlier, Reggie White, who abused him so badly. Like, it was like an abused woman on the field. I'm sorry, that's a really bad comparison, but he was really throwing him around like a toy. I mean, Mike Golick, who was defensive lineman on the Eagles at the time, said it was hard trying not to trip over Mandarich every time Reggie White went up against Tony Mandarich. Mandarich would be on the field. Now, Mandarich, of course, would only last 4 seasons in Green Bay because of his attitude and his, I'm Tony Mandarich. I am Tony Mandarich. You deal with me, and that's just, you got to deal with it. And, of course, Ron Wolf doesn't put up with that, so he's gone. And, of course, his career of steroid use has come up in the past, and it's like, it makes you wonder, like, did we ever get to see the real Tony Mandarich? Because the steroided Tony Mandarich wasn't good enough to, clean anybody's jockstrap. But, I mean, my God, could he have been better without it? Who knows? We'll never know. We'll never really know. One of the biggest teases in NFL history, and arguably the Packers' biggest draft bust of all time. But let me know what you think. Otherwise, have a great day, and as always, God bless. Go Pack, go.